Well, what do you know? It's time to go. Listen to the Twin Cities Hit Show.
Reach for this one.
And now, a real hit show, live from the Twin Cities. It's the Twin Cities Hit Show.
I'm going to keep it simple today. Usually, I go right, left, right, left, right, left. But today, I'm going to start left in honor of how the sun rotates. My people wanted me to start right, but I said, it's 2012. It's time for something different. They said, it's 2015. I said, agree to disagree. Because it's one of those things you can never really tell. So,
let's get this hit show started.
Seems awfully loud in my ear. Are we all right?
Yeah, I think so. I only have one ear, so, you know.
Oh, but it's a good ear.
Yeah.
Very
I cut
nice
off
ear.
the other one. I sent it to Cello Guy.
Okay, good. I bet we're progressing nicely in that relationship.
Very,
Yep.
very Vincent Van Gogh.
Exactly. That's what I'm an artist, you guys. I'm an artist.
Just tribute to your love.
So that was Zoolander. They're back, by the
Oh,
way.
God, that
Wait,
looks great.
so what is he making another movie?
Ben
I don't get it.
Stiller and what's his face? Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yeah.
Showed up at the Paris Fashion Show in character, walked the runway, and that was their announcement that Zoolander 2 is happening.
Oh my gosh. You know, I just recently watched Zoolander within the past year.
So stupid.
It is stupid, but
Wonderfully
it
stupid.
holds up. It still is
It's
so
still as
funny.
stupid as it
it's
was
still
originally.
stupid, but it's still so funny.
Yep.
Now, are
I
you
think
saying
it's great.
stupid good or stupid bad, Rusty?
I guess it's just stupid enough to be funny, but I mean, the scene where the Will Ferrell shows the model of the facility for children
Yes.
who don't know how to read so well.
Yeah.
What is this, a school for ants?
I'm like, that's stupid.
No, it's hilarious.
That's
Oh my
just
God. Water
stupid.
is the essence of water. I don't know what he says. I forget.
Hey,
Rusty's going
it's the-
highbrow on us.
It's the Twin Cities. Well, I'll show you some stupid here. It's a Twin Cities hit show. My name is Rusty Gatenby. Ba-bam.
Chuck Gollop.
Courtney McLean.
We got lots of stuff to talk about, and some of it's probably going to get pretty darn serious, actually, folks. So get ready. I mean, breaking news, shooting in Ferguson last night.
Yeah.
We have a couple of police officers, former cops, who are joining us this morning. Not just Chuck, but we have another former cop.
Yeah, Chris with a K.
We're going to be talking to him about things not necessarily cop-related, but we got to at least, I don't know, for a moment or two, talk about what happened last night.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And we do have a phone number. We want you folks to call in if you'd like, leave messages. Check out Facebook. You can leave messages. We've had several odd phone calls. Here's one that just came in. Check it out.
Hey guys, this is Dirk Diggler. You're listening to Twin Cities Hit Show, the hottest show in Alabama. Ding dong.
What? All right, I guess we got celebrities, and it is the internet.
Wow.
We are
Yeah.
heard worldwide.
This is true. Oh,
and,
yeah.
And Alabama. Here's another one that came in. This is even more weird.
The one thing I miss about Minnesota is coleslaw. Damn, it's good.
That kid has too much
Wow.
time on
All
his
right.
hands. Yeah.
So we welcome all calls.
Yeah, please.
Except for those last two. We don't welcome those last two.
Yeah, but speaking of which, we also wish incredibly good luck to Tim Mahoney. He's gearing up for his big concert, the U2 tribute show.
That's on Saturday.
Saturday.
And you and Jennifer are going. I'm so jealous.
Well, Tim, if you're listening, I know you are. I know a hit show that would like some complimentary tickets.
Yes.
I don't.
It's the only thing keeping me from going. My Friday's open. Give me some tickets,
It's
Tim.
How cheap
Saturday.
are you?
It's
I'm not
Saturday,
cheap, I'm
Chuck.
broke. Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
Saturday.
It's
Even
all
better.
night of U2, and if
The 14th, yeah.
you've heard Tim sing, he can really knock it out of the park as far as doing U2, his
That was-
version of it.
Yeah, episode 3 of our show is when he
Oh,
did
yeah, he
that.
sang in the studio here.
I'll post a link, but you can just go to our Spreaker page or TwinCitiesHitShow.com.
And Tim, we're not kidding. We want free tickets. We are dead serious.
Yeah, no.
Yes, we are. I'll still go if it's Saturday. Give me tickets.
Yeah, it is Saturday.
I'll still go.
I can't wait. Next best thing to Bono, Tim Mahoney.
Right?
Doing
Yep.
a night of it. Here we go. Yes, that's right. Air guitar, people. Do it now.
I'm just hitting things because I don't know what kind of drums those are.
So that's Saturday night, and hopefully we'll be there. I might even bring some cameras and maybe have some footage of that.
Oh,
The
you
various
can't announce
cameras.
that. That's so bootleggy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm gonna bootleg that guy. I have a feeling it's Tim that's been calling into this show.
No.
God damn it!
Wait,
Hey, wait
what?
a minute. That does
I don't
sound a
believe
little
it. My world will be
Timonious.
turned upside down.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So.
So Ferguson. Wait, are we not going back to that? Or
Well, we're gonna work our way toward that.
oh, okay.
Start
okay.
happy.
First,
I'll
I'm
let-
going to start a little happier. In Minnesota news, Rihanna. Mm-hmm. She's got this new song out, which she worked with Paul McCartney on.
Yeah.
Former Macalester College graduate, director and actor Peter Berg has just announced he's going to do a documentary on the career of Rihanna.
Interesting.
All right.
It should be good. Remember Madonna's Truth or Dare, the concert documentary?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to have sort of that flavor to it, but it's going to follow Rihanna from her upbringing in Jamaica to how she's reached the height of pop stardom right now. So a guy who went to college just down the street here in St. Paul, Macalester College, Peter Berg,
Cool.
will be directing that.
I thought she was from Barbados.
Is that it? Barbados?
Yeah.
One of the tropical
Yeah.
islands.
Something Caribbean.
Yeah.
Where's what else has he done? I've heard of this guy.
Yeah, Pete Berg was first, I think, an actor on St. Elsewhere.
Oh.
And
Really?
Then, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then he...
And then he sang "Lady in Red." Oh, that was Krista Berg. Sorry.
Let me see if I can get... are you on the computer? Let's IBM DMDBDM.
While you're doing that, I
Berg.
just want another shout out to a Mac graduate, Michonne from The Walking Dead, went to Macalester.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
who's that?
She's like the
big lead.
the really muscular black gal. She is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pete Berg has directed Lone Survivor with Matt Wahlberg.
Oh,
True story.
yeah.
He directed Hancock with Will Smith, which is a funny spoof on superheroes.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He directed Battleship, which...
That was the winner.
The Rundown, Very
Every
Bad
board game needs
Things,
a movie.
The Kingdom.
Very Bad Things.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Really?
go.
Oh yeah, dark.
The sports drama, Friday Night Lights.
Oh
Hello.
wow.
Wait,
Yeah.
the TV show?
Yes.
Oh, I have heard nothing but great things about that. I couldn't get into the first episode, but I'm very
And now he's going to do a documentary on Rihanna. So that should be good.
nice.
Wonder if he's
Yeah.
just pines for her. What would I need to do a documentary on Rihanna?
Yeah.
Where would that come from?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, when you hang out at parties and such, and maybe you had a couple of, maybe he was in the keg line with Rihanna as
Yeah.
they're pumping
Yeah.
the keg. What are you up to these days? Someone should do a movie about you.
Maybe it is that he just wants to hang out with her.
Yeah. Well, she's hanging with Kanye and Paul McCartney on that song. All right.
Right, yeah.
So here's how we're going to slowly work our way in, and there's a reason I'm playing this song. Anyone recognize this song? Name that band.
The Teddy
you
Bear
guys
Man.
are young. Our guest knows that he has a guess.
Lean in.
Get really close.
Now I just blanked on it.
Wow, that
Oh,
was
no,
impressive.
Three Dog Night.
It is 3
Yeah. Oh,
I
nice
was-
job.
I was going to say Mrs. Jones' 5th grade class.
Wow.
But-
Keyboardist Jimmy Greenspoon died last night. He died
Aw.
after a battle with cancer. He was 67 years old. He was one of the founding members of 3 Dog Night. They had a whole bunch of hits. Good old-fashioned love song. Right? You remember that one? Or,
Oh, yeah.
Or how about this one? Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah.
Sing it!
Was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. Understand what he said.
Anyway.
I have a song called Safe Words, and I have a list of safe words in it, and one of the safe words is Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
That's a phrase.
Yeah.
Well, right,
Yeah.
but still,
What if you don't?
safe phrase.
What if you're gagging? You can't get the entire phrase out.
Rusty, I have never thought about that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Don't know what you're saying.
You want me to keep going?
Is that your? You want more phrase? Oh.
Okay, and
Jimmy Greenspoon.
hey, it took us 10 minutes to get into that.
So now I've gone backwards. Actually, I was going to play black and white first, but I want to not miss this story because I find it very funny. This band, go figure. Slipknot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I have no idea who this is, but I know who Slipknot
Three
is.
Dog Night.
Three Dog.
Happy, wonderful music, right?
Hey, there's a place for everybody. Well,
Guess what happened to these guys? They got into a knife fight with each other yesterday in Iowa.
Each other.
Go figure.
hey, I mean, yes, they might be a little crazy, a little ornery, a little off-putting, these characters. But you know what? Being in a band is hard. That's like being in a marriage with like 4 people.
Have you stabbed any of your bandmates ever?
No, I have never stabbed it, and I would not stab my bandmates. So yes, that is another level of psychoticness. Thank you.
Guarantee here's one story you'll never hear. Barry Manilow has canceled his concert because his band got into a knife fight.
Speaking of Zoolander.
They would have gotten into a slap fight.
Yeah, speaking of Zoolander, I picture the Zoolander fight with the knives in slow motion.
The one brother stabbed the other brother in the head. They both had to go to the hospital. They say they're going to live. They have a tour that's supposed to start in April.
They're brothers,
that'll make
too?
Thanksgiving
That's a
uncomfortable,
whole other-
won't it?
Brothers is a whole other level of irritation with a person.
Yeah. Say, could you pass the mashed potatoes? Oh, and by the way, remember when you stabbed me in the head on our concert tour?
I've never stabbed my brother, but I have punched
the
him.
head.
He's punched me.
Hey.
And they're in Iowa. Maybe that adds to their anger.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. These fucking cornfields.
Oh, man. Yeah, that may be good music, but I will take this over that one. This is my kind of angry music right
Yeah?
here. Yeah, here we go.
Is this Queensryche? Oh, right.
Here we go.
This song has been sticking in my head, and I blame you.
Right?
I bet you they don't stab each other. Tragedy.
You're probably
They
right.
would never stab each other.
Never.
Tragedy.
Never. Tragedy. Their name's Tragedy, but their whole life is a comedy.
Oh.
Cute. Thanks. I just wrote a tagline for your next film.
Next. Thanks.
All right, so let's introduce our guest, shall we, Chuck?
Yeah.
Bring him into the conversation.
Great, sitting in our studio here. Oh, nice choice of tunage. The very, very funny, by the way, Chris Swarthout. That's Chris with a K.
Spelt the girl's way.
Yeah, that's good.
That was actually a tagline I put on a vote for Chris for student council in junior high.
Did it work?
Not at all.
Oh.
Neither did my mom's original "Come on, girls, vote for the curls."
Whoa, I should use that.
Ironically,
Yeah.
curly hair, chubby kids are not really that popular in junior high
Yeah.
in the late '80s.
Yeah, I don't know
You
if
were
that's
chubby?
ironic, but
I
yeah.
was a big fat guy.
Yeah, last time I saw you, I won't say you were a lot more beefy than you are right now.
We were kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum, Chuck.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I took you down on the roof of the caboose. that
Yeah,
night.
we had some. Yeah, well, it was a Tim Mahoney concert actually, where we got in a
always
football
circles back to
game.
Tim.
Yes, it's all his fault. The roof of the caboose, some epic times. Why not? Police officers, off duty, guns, alcohol seems like a good mix on the roof of the caboose.
Yeah.
Well, we play the Rocky theme because your story involves triathletes, and we're going to talk about that first. But I figure as long as we have a couple of cops in the room, did you hear about the shootings last night in Ferguson?
I did. I was watching some of the clips online this morning, and I saw the video that somebody captured. Very disturbing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what's your reaction to that? I mean,
You know, it all kind of comes full circle with the federal investigation that comes down there.
Yeah.
You know, you think about the things that have come out. You know, I remember back in the day when it was actually brought up in department meetings, write tickets because it creates revenue, but don't tell anybody that.
yeah.
You know, and they got popped for it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you know,
And beyond that, a lot of the emails were racist. A lot of the exchanges in management in Ferguson's police department
Yeah.
was out and out racist.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised every day when I see this stuff. I mean, you see like that SAE video that came out.
Well, and
How does this stuff happen?
Are you
Yeah.
really surprised? I mean, I feel like police officering is a field that attracts people that like power.
let me say something. I am an SAE.
What
I
does that
went to
mean?
Madison, Wisconsin. I'm in the fraternity
Oh,
of
I
this
see.
fraternity. You know, I went back in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
None of that song I'd never heard, none of that attitude was in my fraternity. So I can understand how police officers feel, hey, we're all being grouped into being
Mm-hmm.
racist hatred. I'm like, I'm in SA, but I never sang that song. I never even heard that song.
Yeah.
And my frat brothers are wonderful people. We did have a black dude, granted just one.
I have a
But
black
we had
friend.
guy.
I have a black friend.
But also, when you were going to college, I mean, did a lot of black people go to college at that time? What was that?
Back in 1881.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So a little more, but not as much as do today. So it's like that makes sense. That
We
there would only
weren't
be
keeping
one.
anyone out.
Right,
So,
yeah.
You know, the deal was you
Not you
hung
guys.
with us guys, and if you were seemed cool, like you weren't gonna, be a dork or whatever, you got in.
Oh, so you didn't want dorks in your
well,
fraternity.
we had we were anti.
How did you get in?
Oh, I
We
knew
had
you were going there.
we did have quotas.
okay,
they needed
okay.
me.
Yeah.
They are,
Let
we
the
got-
redhead kid in.
We got the dork thing set.
We got the black kid.
Come in.
We got the redheaded kid.
But anyway, to a much lesser degree, because of course police officers put their lives on the line. But it's an attitude. Somehow, I'm like, really? How is this happening right now? Have we not learned?
That is baffling, and I think their attitude is, oh, we're little Ferguson. No one's going to notice if we're sending little emails back and forth in our little interdepartment email. Yeah, it all comes out during an investigation. Everything.
Did you hear they were going to have Waka Flocka? Have you even heard of Waka Flocka? He's he played at the fraternity last year. Here's a little of his. Here's the you can imagine he's like a rap guy.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Will it play? Maybe it won't play.
He's too badass.
You want me to freestyle that one?
Yeah, it's well, it's
Waka
it's
Flocka
rap
living
music.
in
Here's
the house.
here's what he had to say about he played there last year at the SAE
I
house.
was down with the fraternity. Like, I was SE. I was SAE. Like, you couldn't tell me no different. So me to see that video, I was like, damn, that's what y'all doing behind closed doors? I was like, that disgusted me. Like, to me, I really can't blame the kids. To me, I feel like that's, like, passed down. You can't even make me believe that, like, that's just crazy. Like, I'm disgusted. I'm not going to lie.
So he canceled, obviously. He was supposed to play at the SAE house. Well, the SAEs themselves are canceled from Oklahoma right
Yeah,
now. They got kicked
yeah.
off, and some of them expelled. Like
Yeah.
the guy on the video that I think we've all seen leading the sing-along, we won't let no N-words, and we'll hang him from a tree and all
Yep,
that stuff.
yep.
He's been...
I hadn't seen this.
He's been kicked out of college, or out of the school.
The house mom took a lot of heat too. That you see that Vine that she had,
Yeah.
and it looked like she was kind of set up on that. But
She still said the word over and over again.
exactly, there's this mindset where people don't want to think that they're racist, but yet everything they do is racist.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Well, I'm sorry, that's not the litmus test for whether you are
Yeah,
a racist
yeah.
or not.
Right.
Like, I own black people. I'm not racist. Like, that's not the case. You have to totally have it in your ethos. You have to believe it and practice it.
You have to believe and practice it and understand, especially if you are a white person, your own privilege in the world. That's a huge step, a part of it now,
Yeah.
is realizing all the things that you get, and you can walk into a store and nobody gives you shit. Nobody tries to do any, follow you around or anything like that because of your skin color. So recognizing that and calling out other people on it, that's part of not being a racist too, I think.
This is Waka Flocka, but which
Oh,
I don't know
cool,
if you
okay.
see Joe on NBC. He's got a morning show.
Joe Lauer? No, that's Matt
No.
Lauer.
Gosh,
I
dang
am-
it. I
I
should be
am-
better prepared. I meant to have his soundbite too. He said, well, it's part of the reason could be because of the music the kids are listening to and the N-words in the music.
Oh my God, that is the
Lord.
age-old argument that just has no water anymore at all.
Yeah, when it's a bunch of middle-aged white guys having this conversation, well,
Right.
maybe it's because of the rap music. That's
Yeah.
why they did that.
Oh yeah, but the Who that you listen to and the Led Zeppelin and the drugs that you did the cocaine that.
Well, and also they weren't saying my brother, except with the N-word. They were saying we will hang him from the tree.
Oh right.
that
Oh
seems
yeah.
pretty
So that's a
specific.
different song altogether.
That's a whole new level. That's a
Do you
whole new
remember
level.
the Michael Richards thing?
Yeah.
When,
Oh,
yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that, but.
So, what if you were on the force in Ferguson, you guys? What would you be doing right now?
Quitting.
Duck and cover.
Yeah. I'd be starting a triathlon company.
Yeah, I would be looking for another job somewhere else.
Wow.
These
yeah.
guys are walking targets, and they,
Oh,
and,
yeah.
they and they can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
You know, anything they do is going to be on a YouTube somewhere immediately.
Yep.
Did you see the video that was shot?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you hear the commentary that was coming from the people that were actually shooting it, where the person said, if you had acted differently 9 months ago, this wouldn't have happened. Like, you're expected to take one in the head because somebody and those guys weren't even from Ferguson. They were from
not.
outside agencies that
Yeah.
were brought in to work.
Right.
Like, these are guys that are like, oh crap, I just drew the short card. You know,
Yeah.
my badge
Yeah.
number's super high. I got
Yeah.
to go Like, that is probably not a job they wanted to do last night.
Right.
And the police chief has been forced to resign, right? And someone else in upper management has been kicked out. So my question is, if you're protesting and being you're angry, how does shooting 2 additional cops help the conversation move forward?
Well, I think the whole Ferguson thing is out of control because all these people from around the country came in to protest before anything had gotten out about this. And it was just an excuse to start kicking in windows and rioting. And that's really what it came to.
Okay, well, hold on a second. The people that are kicking in windows and rioting are a small people. These are the same, like, pro-life people who blow up abortion clinics, okay? Mm-hmm. We're talking the same kind of extremism. There are many hundreds and thousands of more people who are saying peaceful protests, but it's like, it's intense. If you have never been a disenfranchised person and you don't know the anger that's happening, and I don't agree with shooting cops at all. I don't agree with any kind of murder, but it's like, there's a lot of anger going on. This country has a history of genocide and horrible racism and it's like, it's all coming out right now. And I don't know what needs to be done, but
I'm glad you're sticking your neck out. You're anti-murder. Good for you.
Yeah.
But
back up. What genocide? When have we done that? What genocide?
When Christopher Columbus and everybody came over to the country.
She's going way back.
Well, but it's not. I mean, it's only 400 years ago. Yeah. Like, honestly, it's not that long ago.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
I mean, when you talk about Ferguson, I mean, the actual event itself, from what I can tell, seems like a legitimate shooting.
Right. Well, that's what I don't. Yeah. I don't have all the details either, but it sounds like if somebody's attacking a police officer, the one version of the story that I've heard, and he's going for the guy's gun, dude. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah.
Well, they took it upon themselves. There was a couple things that happened there. If you think about after the shooting happened, the follow-up was they left the guy's body in the street, middle of the day for a couple hours.
Yeah.
But isn't that part of every research? Doesn't that happen?
I mean, it's not Law and Order draw the chalk line around it and haul the body out, but you do things to try and protect the dignity of the. I mean, you protect the dignity.
Yeah.
You cover it up. I mean, I remember back in the day we used to have like the rookies stand around with like bed sheets from the ambulance. You just have to hold them up so no one could see.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like you shot a deer and you were waiting for something, for somebody to take a picture. It was that there were things like that really were muffed up.
So they were trying to send a message like.
I don't know if they were trying to send a message. I think it was just. They just didn't care, or they just didn't think it through. It's like, I think, a little bit of arrogance, stupidity. You just get lackadaisical in how things are perceived in the public, because whether you think it's bad or not, perception is reality.
Yeah,
and it has been revealed in emails there was a bit of racism going on in the department.
Yeah, I mean, you got to consider where they are in the planet geographically.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it doesn't excuse it, especially for an agency like that, but that's
but
part
it's
of
not
it.
as big a surprise.
Yeah, and be honest, if you've ever a student of Gordon Graham, guy who talks about high frequency, high risk incidents, low frequency, high risk, and this is a low frequency, high risk incident. Ferguson hadn't dealt with a lot of cop shootings, and they hadn't dealt with a lot of murders, believe it or not. So they didn't know what to do. This is one of those high risk, low frequency incidents that they were not prepared to deal with, and underneath all of it is this boiling racism that's all over that police department. So they couldn't do anything right, even though the shoot was righteous.
Where were you on the force?
Brooklyn Park. But for the majority of my career, I started out in this little pimple town called Glencoe.
Oh yeah, out by my sister's area. Yep.
Oh my God,
a lot of farms and horse farms.
I spent Christmas there this year.
I am so sorry
because my one of my friends from California, his parents live out there now, and it was so dramatic. But I won't go into it. But yeah, Glencoe.
It's great. The city had no stoplights.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, so he couldn't write a stoplight tag. You had to write stop sign tags.
Oh, that's funny.
The biggest crime was the kids going around the circle and drinking in the parking lots.
Wow.
Damn kids!
I know, and you could only stop them every so often. So it's like, okay, let them go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was terrible. I actually got written up once by my chief for being quote unquote too metro.
Oh,
which I'm not sure. Yeah, I was like, oh, you're from the cities. You're a terrible person. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? Turn a blind eye and let everybody go? Like it's Mayberry?
Yeah. I only get facials once a month.
So they were expecting you to...
That takes on a whole different meaning with you,
Of
Courtney.
Metro, yeah.
I thought of that the exact
yeah.
opposite way I'm sure you meant it to be.
Yeah, it is. Trust
So
me.
they thought you were being too tough on the local Jimmy
Yeah.
Bob's, and
Exactly. Let some people go. Because I arrested I arrested one of the council members for DWI twice.
Oh.
And then his wife actually took Polaroids of me arresting him in his driveway drunk.
Polaroids. That's how old this was.
That's
yeah.
how old it was. I remember the Polaroid. She was like, and I'm like, she's like, slow down. They won't come out fast enough.
You know, Polaroids are back. Actually, I took a picture of a 17-year-old's birthday party the other day with a Polaroid camera. A cool 17-year-old handed me her blue Polaroid and was like, "Just press that button." I'm like, "Yeah, sister, don't worry about it."
Thank you, Tom Petters, for bringing back Polaroid.
I want to finish that story though. Had the guy made it home and he was in the driveway, or he was about to leave? Or how did you get him in the driveway?
Well, this is one of my two favorite arrest you in your house type of DUIs. One was so this guy he just refused to stop. He thought he was the fine.
I'm
I'm
dog in this town.
I'm not going to say his name, but I'm Councilman so and so, and you can't do that to me. I run this town. Like, all right, well, let's see how this works. So he just went all the way and just kept going and kept going. It's like, okay, here's this. It's a low speed chase at 30 miles an hour, and you're like all young. You're like, oh my god, I got somebody who's no. You're like, you listen to the tape back. You're like, and it's
He won't stop.
You won't stop. He won't stop. I need back up. I need back up to arrest an old man. So so he just refused to stop, and he got into his driveway. But it was another
What
one.
a dick! Wow,
totally. And the other one was
he didn't get off though, right? He got his DWI.
He got his license taken away. He got the DWI. I actually got.
How drunk was he?
I think he was like in the 1.7s.
Oh, okay, that's drunk.
And the best part was he was coming from lunch.
Oh my God! Day watch Glencoe. I love it.
Oh yeah, day shift. We had to do something.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Make the bank run and arrest council members.
Well, that's funny. When I was in Roseville, I kept tagging. I had a council member that I made a project out of because she thought she was above everything too. It's same thing. But in Glencoe, I can imagine the power those people wield.
They hated you, didn't they?
Totally.
Did you get a reputation?
Oh, absolutely.
Metro Nazi?
Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. I had to eventually swing the wrong way, the other way, and to start going, okay, I'm just going to sit here, and you guys can do whatever you want. I'm just going to sit and have coffee all day long.
Oh, wow.
So what was you said there was a second one?
The second one was this old guy who had crawled actually out of the bar. Literally, I was sitting in a parking lot in the back of the bar. And
Sorry.
So Chuck was crawling to his car, literally on his hands and knees, got in the car. I'm like, wow, crap. And this guy lived like a block and a half away. Old man crawled in his car. I'm like,
he couldn't just crawl the block and a half.
No,
you're almost there.
So I tried to
keep crawling.
Yeah, so I tried to quick finish my Sudoku game and then pull up on him, and then he just kept driving, and he went into his garage, and the garage door went up, and I'm standing there, and my car's in his driveway, and I'm yelling at him like we'll say his name was Frank. Frank. And he started putting the garage door down, and I was holding it, and I'm like, oh my God, this thing's not a safety. I'm like, so yeah, I ended up having to get him inside of his house.
You should cite him for a deadly garage door too.
God. The guy was like
the safety bar's not working. This is a violation of OSHA.
Exactly. It almost crushed my toes. Thank goodness I had a steel toe.
We're going to talk real quickly here about your work with triathletes, but I had a question that's always been burning that both you guys may be able to answer. We're getting in. People are golfing now because the weather has turned, right? Mm-hmm. Golf. They're already on the golf courses this week.
That's
legal. If you're in a golf cart and you're drinking beer, can you get a DWI?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You would think that would happen.
You can also get one on a bike.
Yeah.
If they wanted to crack down, think about all the DWIs on golf courses you could be issuing.
I'm going to one up that one. This is a Glencoe one. This will tell you how bored people were. Some kids were doing a lawn service, so they had lawnmowers, and they had automatic lawnmowers, not like push ones.
Yeah.
They, they're done with the day. They wrapped it up, got super hammied, and they played bumper cars by sitting on the lawnmower, reaching behind them, and have them running.
Oh,
so the state patrol came up and cited them for DWI
on a lawnmower,
on a self-propelled lawnmower.
That's awesome. I had a goal when I was a cop. I wanted to pull over one unique vehicle as often as I could. So I pulled over an armored car.
Mm-hmm. What?
I pulled over a city bus and tagged the driver with everyone on the bus waiting. Yeah. And
Wow.
An armored
no,
car?
a city bus.
No, did you ever get a school bus?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of school buses. Yeah.
With kids?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You could tell they were drunk, or how do you find out?
No, these weren't DUIs. These were just speeding tickets or
Just
whatever.
speeding,
But
yeah.
These were racial profiling.
Yeah.
There was
So-
a story a couple of years back on our morning show. A local police officer pulled over a trooper who was drunk, and I think it was in Texas. Yeah, a trooper was in his car.
Yeah.
And the bit was he was going, 80 miles an hour, no lights on, and she's like, "Where are you going?" Pulled him over, and she smelled alcohol, and she's like, guess what?
Man.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a DWI, Mr.
Yeah.
State Trooper."
Did you ever hear that story? I had a battle with the troopers, now very good friends of mine, and I made him my project. And I saw a trooper speeding one day, and I pulled him over. And it was like radio silence when I got 4801 traffic. Go ahead. State Patrol plate 163582 at Old Shakopee in France. Mm-hmm. Copy. That started a war for a while.
Because the trooper was just going too fast for no
Yeah,
reason?
and I walk up, and I thought it was this guy who wanted to tag. Like I said, who's now a friend of mine. But I said, where are you going? He goes, I got to poop. I go, yeah, speed limit's 35. Slow down. Oh. It was just, you just didn't do that.
I'm surprised he stopped.
Yeah, I am too.
Because when we would come back from county jail in Brooklyn Park, we would be on 94.
Yeah, doing 94.
He would be doing like 105. It's the middle of the night. Trooper would, or somebody would, put on. I think the county was the best. They would try and stop you.
Yeah.
And you get on statewide, and you're like, can I help you?
Can I just say that this is a small reason why people hate cops? Because y'all aren't following the freaking law, and it causes resentment in the people. It's
I
like,
get it.
come
Yeah.
on,
I get it.
Totally.
You can't just pull me
Courtney,
over. I know.
no murdering.
I'm not going to murder
I
anybody.
don't doubt it.
So you got out of the cop business, and now you're no longer a fat kid.
Exactly.
He looks good.
You're working out?
I am. So I started doing triathlons as a way to heal a broken heart when I was on the job, and lost a whole bunch of weight. I went from about 275 down to 175.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember I got.
Dang.
Yeah.
Show us your stretch marks.
Show us your hot abs.
Anybody want to do some laundry?
Yes.
Good. I got a washing machine full at home.
Oh.
Punchline.
Yeah.
And so I started doing triathlons just to kind of preoccupy myself, and ended up really liking it. And it was way better than going to the gym every day doing the same thing. And eventually, when I got a coach that was teaching me how to do it, he asked me if I wanted to learn how to do it. I said sure, and it kind of stuck. And eventually, when I got married, my wife's like, "Well, why don't you leave copping?" Because I had a bad
copping.
Well, I had a bad couple of months in Brooklyn Park. It was I got shot at.
Oh my gosh.
I got run over by one of my partners.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually sent Chuck the YouTube video on that. Have him show you.
Oh my God,
later
we
on
should
today.
link that.
Yeah.
It was
we
awesome.
should.
I actually got run over. It's the dash cam video.
Accidentally.
Oh yeah. And
He wasn't pissed at you.
well, okay. If you watch it, you can actually see in slow motion. He actually turns towards me as I try and step out of the way. When I realize and look
boy.
over my shoulder that it's coming.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. It's great. My
Can I search it on YouTube right now?
I'll text it to you.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing. So my wife just kind of said, we're gonna have a kid. You're doing this triathlon stuff, and I had started a company to train people because some of my friends wanted me to do that, and I just said, okay, screw it. I'm gonna take a leap of faith, and I jumped off and said, I'm gonna leave a union job that's going to give me the same paycheck for the rest of my life, and I'm going to try something that I really like, and love, and if it wasn't for the support of my wife that worked for Target and made serious bank.
Is she one of the people that got laid off?
No, she left Target before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she works for a company called Slalom, consulting company here in the Twin Cities. No plugs intended.
Well, go for it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Live, baby.
Well, and I got to say,
Do
what
they
year
want
did
to
you leave?
sponsor us?
What year did you leave law
I
enforcement?
left in 06.
And when you left, I thought you were nuts. And granted, I left under different circumstances. I retired. I couldn't work anymore. But
I technically retired too.
oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
12 years on, so I get a pension.
Oh, good for you, man. Yeah.
So it wasn't completely insane.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that is really brave. No one leaves law enforcement. And so for you to do that just because there was a better opportunity, something you followed for your passion, to me, always saying out to me, and now that I'm out of the business and I'm out of that cloud and shroud, I'm really, really just pleased that you've done this.
Well, it's the one thing that I did start to see is you start after a while you see that your circle of society is very tight, and you don't talk to anybody outside of you who you work with. You start to get this mindset of, okay, we're always right. You don't have a very broad mindset, and triathlon actually brought me out of that. I remember in my last year in law enforcement when I was doing triathlon, I got to witness an open heart surgery, a quadruple bypass. I stood at the bed and watched it. Because of a guy that I met, in doing races. He's like, "Hey, would you want to come see this?" And I'm like, "Okay." And it was during the time of when Randy Moss ran over that traffic cop, and they're just asking me all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, "Shouldn't you guys be working on the heart that's not beating here?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just paint by numbers. We just follow the chart." It's like I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Wow. So Minnesota has has a long enough triathlon season, or are you a nationwide trainer, or what happens?
I train athletes across the United States. I have a couple of athletes that I train outside of the country too. So I started out just training local people, which we have a fair number of triathletes that do this.
I used to do them.
Yeah, and so actually I remember swimming at Lifetime next to you and taking secret photos of you in the locker room.
Nice.
No, just kidding. I have nothing there.
Can you send
But I
those
do
to
remember
me?
we used to swim together. You'd have no idea who I was, but I was
horrible
like
swimmer.
I was like, oh my God, there's Rusty Gabe.
That was the toughest part about the triathlon. Number one, you're training in the pool for the first triathlon.
Yep.
And so then when you hit the lake, you're like, there is no line on the bottom of the lake.
So you just go left.
So you start.
You circle. You're like a little boat. Somebody's been tossed out.
Horrible swimmer.
Can you remind me exactly what a triathlon is again?
It's 3. Tri is 3.
I know that. It's 3 things. I know it's running,
swim.
biking, and swimming, but what are the lengths?
They vary.
They do?
Yeah,
okay.
There are different distances, and the standard distances are what they call a sprint, a standard distance, half Ironman, and a full Ironman. So the short distance would be like it's a 500-meter swim, it's a 13-mile bike, and a 5K run, so like a 3-point-mile. And then you get all the way up to the Ironman, which is it's
crazy.
It's a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike, and then a full marathon.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you wrap it up with a full marathon.
That's a long day at the office.
Have you done an Ironman?
I've done 6 of them.
Oh my God!
Just 6? Why not
6.
7?
Well, because 7's a greedy number.
That's impossible.
And my wife won't give me any more room on the wall.
Yeah.
Were you ranked then at some point?
I was actually I was an All-American. I was what they consider a quote-unquote elite athlete. So you would start, be at the beginning when everybody was doing it. But eventually I found that coaching people was more rewarding and helping people get to the finish line was more rewarding than anything that I was doing. So then I started turning my my focus there. And it really worked out.
What are some of the inspiring stories then? You talk about your own journey from being a fat, curly-haired kid to a triathlete. Have you coached people who approach you with similar physical issues?
There's a lot of them out there. I mean, I can go to the person who was a 78-year-old guy who had no idea how to swim, and he came to me learning how to swim because he wanted to do the triathlon in the senior games, and ended up taking a gold medal there,
Wow.
which is cool. But I think my
who else was he competing against?
There's one other guy.
Him and one other dude.
Yeah, he died in the middle.
In a walker. The walker really didn't do him any good in the water either, by the way. I swim with a walker. I beat you in your face. No, but probably my best story was 2 years ago. I coached a woman, local woman here by the name of City Blackstock, and she qualified for the Hawaiian Ironman in Wisconsin at the Wisconsin Ironman. So legitimately, she qualified. She was second in her age group. I mean, incredibly talented woman. We did great things. A month later, she was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. So essentially, she had a 4-centimeter mass taken out of her left pectoral.
Oh wow!
She did full 4 rounds of chemo and some other things. She was given a full clean bill of health afterwards, and her doctor said that she was able to start going back into training. Well, her goal was to go to Hawaii, the spot that she had earned that following November or October. And so we started training, and we started getting her back. So she came back from cancer and was actually one of the people that was selected for that NBC, that big show they do.
Yeah.
And was selected for there. She eventually got cut on the floor because they picked the Sandy Hook dad over her. So it's a lot of tragedies there.
But she did her race.
She did her race, and she actually finished in a very close time to what she did when she was healthy.
Wow.
So she had a huge obstacle to overcome.
It's like what most people are off season is like, oh yeah, I gained a couple pounds. She had cancer in her off season.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would your message be to the hundreds of thousands of people listening to this show around the world?
Well, you know what? The big thing at triathlon is it's setting a goal and it's accomplishing something. And it's not about, am I going to be, first place, second place? It's about number one, am I going to finish? And people will say, well, it's just a short distance that I'm doing. That's BS. It's all about the accomplishment.
Yeah.
And I think also it's about the journey of seeing yourself day to day improving. You're like, oh man, I didn't have to start. Say if you start training, like when I started running a few years ago, and when I started training, it's like you walk after 10 minutes instead of after 5 minutes or something like that. And it's like seeing these little steps day by day is so. It's so inspiring for yourself. You're like inspiring yourself.
Yeah, and you measure yourself against yourself. You don't measure yourself against somebody else because that stick will always keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
However, because I think I used to do like 4 a year, and I did that, right up until I did my last one when I was 40, and I did my one and only marathon that year. But I remember having my yellow swim cap on, and I get out there, and then I see the green swim caps getting closer. And then suddenly they're going over the top of me. Oh, damn it! And then I keep going, and I'm like, oh, here come the blue swim caps. And they'd go over the top of me. But I'd get out of the water, and I'd hop on that damn bike, and I would do my race. My race was to finish.
Right.
Exactly. That's what it is. You get out there and you say, I'm going to have a personal accomplishment today. And it's not like running where you're only doing the same thing over and over and all day long. It's a 3-sport event.
Yeah.
And so you have the capability to do different things every day. And I think that was one of the big things that brought me into triathlon. It was instead of going to the gym and doing the same workout I was doing, and you're now doing something else.
And that, though, also becomes a bit of an issue. Like, oh, geez, how do I train today? I don't have enough time to train all these. But if you mix it up, it becomes one last story. The last triathlon I did when I was 40 years old, and it was Waconia, and I'm coming down the stretch, and I could see this kid. He had to have been about 11 years old. He was doing his first triathlon. Just spent, like, ashen-faced, crying. So I go, buddy, we're almost there. We got like less than a mile to go. I go, here, I'll trot with you. Aww. And he's like, okay. And I'm thinking, this kind of helps me too. I'll slow my pace down and trot with Junior. And so then I'll go, there you go. You can see the finish line now, right? And he goes, oh yeah. And suddenly the pace starts picking up, and I'm like, all right. And then we're getting closer, and then suddenly he's in a sprint. I'm like, you mother, slow down. Beat me like by 50 yards.
Oh,
yeah. And I went,
Sandbagger.
He was a ringer.
Hate that kid.
You see that all the time out there. People like talking to each other and motivating everybody. And I slap more hands when I race and go, hey, good job. You slap butts. It's all it's a license to slap somebody's butt.
But tell Chuck to stop slapping my butt for this show. It's not appropriate for this show.
Good show.
I should not have worn chaps today. All right. So how can we get a hold of you if we want to hire you? What do we do?
Well, you can go to our website is finalk.com. You can find me on Facebook with Chris Swarthout or on Twitter at Chris Swarthout, which is two very easy places. But probably, I'm sure you guys have it linked to your page. Or
Yep.
We will. Yeah.
That'd probably be the easiest way. Because Swarthout's a very, very hard, kind of curse name to...
Yeah. If you go on our Twitter, Cities Hit Show, I've already retweeted you. Aww. And on our Facebook page, I did post your page, Final K Sporting Services.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, I need to lose 25 pounds by Saturday. Can you help me out? Got a couple of days.
We can just
Let's
sweat
get
it
in
out
a knife fight.
Get
I'll
rid of
cut
that
it off.
man purse you carry in here every day.
We got to take a quick break. Who do we have coming up after the show or after the break here?
Gabe Noah!
It sounds like we have Gabe Noah. Here we go. Taking a break.
MacMen. Don't let your computer problems drive you mad. We are MacMen, Minnesota's premier tech consultants and problem solvers for Macs, mobile devices, troubleshooting, training, and much more. No more dragging your computer all over town because we come to you. We love making house calls to your home or small business. MacMen. Call 612-345-8005. The Alive and Social Network is alive and growing. From the best in sports, music, movies, and beer, Alive and Social is what all the cool kids click on. Featuring characters like radio rebel Jeff Dubay, Star Tribune pundit Jim Suhan, Unfiltered, and television veteran and handsome man Rusty Gatenby. You can also taste the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly. Join the band with live band karaoke night from legendary O'Gara's in St. Paul and the live music showcase from Shamrocks. Yes, Alive and Social Network does indeed rock and roll. The Jeff DeBay Show, Jim Suhan Unfiltered, the Rusty Gatenby Review, the Minnesota Pubcast with Jason and Molly, live band karaoke, and Shamrock's live music showcase. Join the fun. Be alive and social with the Alive and Social Network.
The term foodie can sometimes come across as a tickle pretentious. BT and Lydia are here to demystify the term and reclaim it for the sake of good food. Their weekly podcast brings in fellow foodies and culture creators from the Twin Cities to talk about all things food. Find this duo only on the Alive and Social Network. With Suhan Unfiltered, sports columnist for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Jim Suhan presents in-depth conversations with the best writers and sports personalities in the area. Suhan brings professional journalism flavor without the verbal censoring. Find out what unfiltered really means. Only on the Alive and Social Network. SuhanUnfiltered.com.
Hey, this is the stud that's been getting funky with Courtney, and you're listening to the Twin Cities Hit Show.
There he is, your
Oh,
boyfriend.
I missed him.
Oh, for God's sake.
Where'd you go?
I went downstairs to get Gabe Noah a beer.
Nice.
Nice.
Friday somewhere.
My mom called and yelled at me last time for being late. Now she's really not going to like this beer thing in the morning.
Did she seriously follow up that you were late?
Yeah, she did.
Oh,
I had
that's
like
funny.
3 people call me and say that.
Wow.
Where were you?
The power of this show.
Yeah.
3
See,
Yeah.
that is 3 more than other guests on other podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
that's a
fine.
very good point.
So, Gabe, since you were last on the show, exciting news, right, for you?
Yeah. We just announced where the Turkeys, our sketch and comedy group, is having a residency at Brave New Workshop at their new theater downtown.
That is amazing.
Yeah, no, they
How
have
much
it.
did you have to pay him for that?
We didn't have to pay anything. In fact, we can make a little money for the
Nice.
first time in my career. Yeah.
A comedian making money?
Yeah, it's not much.
I call
Don't worry.
bullshit.
And I'm spending all of it on our stupid gags and stuff. They have a room called the Experimental Thought Center. So that's like our stage that we're Experimental Thinking Center. I should get it right. And
Wait, the
they have
Brave
all
New
this,
Workshop
like,
does?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
they have 2 stages there.
Yes.
So
yeah.
we have like a little 250 seater down there, and they've got it's decked out, so we get to take like remote cameras outside and screw with people on the street.
Cool.
They've got fog and smog and all. Like it's just gonna be bananas.
Oh my God.
I had a lesbian biker gang hired to bring us up, like for our entrance.
Shut up.
But they didn't have their bikes out yet.
Oh.
So we're gonna do it next month.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
that's the kind of stuff. Like we're trying to just go super stupid.
Hold on.
Yeah, that
there's
sounds
a
amazing.
lesbian biker gang in Minnesota.
Well,
Oh my God, they're all over the place.
I think
They wear
Yeah.
electrical tape X's on their boobs during Pride.
Maggie Ferris is the one who is my connection to that.
Really?
So, yeah.
Does she ride a bike?
Yeah, she does.
I didn't know that.
She's a lesbian.
I might have known that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm taking motorcycle lessons in a couple months.
You're going to be a lesbian.
Yeah. Were you prepared to become a lesbian?
Are you going to shave your legs before? Because that shit really moves.
I started shaving other things, so I might end up shaving my legs, you guys. I'm really bummed.
I started shaving
look,
other
Gabe.
things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's one of the grossest things I've ever seen in my life. It looks like a man's leg.
She just showed her leg. Yeah. I know. And her
Is that empowering for you?
It's more just like laziness, and I don't give an F.
Wow, my legs are more feminine than yours.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, they kind of
disgusting.
are.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
I have artist ankles. Thin.
Wow, this is taking an interesting turn.
Get on focus, guys.
Who was the last guy in there? Was he a cop?
He
was a cop, yeah.
Okay. Did he shoot a kid too, Chuck? Is that why he's here?
For love of God,
I'm
Gabe.
convinced.
The whole
I'm convinced that's why Chuck had to leave the force.
yeah. I'm keeping that going because it makes me seem like a badass or whatever I am.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah. The other night at comedy at the VFW, every comic was the anti-cop night. I'm so glad I didn't go on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I love your bit on it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
what's the bit?
I do. I think it's because it's true. I heard the phrase "suicide by cop."
Oh, yeah.
I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah.
And then so what the cops say, that's like if they had to kill someone or whatever to like the person wants to go out in a blaze of glory. But I think the cops need a dictionary. 'Cause suicide, like they shot him. Like, like what are you talking about? So it's like, how'd that go, officer? Well, the slimy perpetrator reached into his jacket for what later turned out to be a cigarette lighter. So I took out my service revolver and I emptied it into his face. He killed himself. He's addicted to death, this guy. Reminds me of a common criminal who once offed himself on my nightstick. 77 blows to the back of the head later, he takes the coward's way out.
Yeah.
Shame he can't get into heaven.
Yeah, that's right.
Suicide's a sin.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules,
Well
just
done.
enforce them.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a
No,
good
I
one.
like cops as much as anyone who just loves the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Always the funnest guys.
Yeah, I was going to mention that when Chris was talking about his transition. His transition from cop to triathlete, my transition from cop to comic, and oh my God, I'm like in the complete opposite side of the world right now.
Yeah.
It's been really interesting.
No, and actually, I should say, I do like cop. Like, I don't have any problem with it. Well, I hate, like, 30% of them probably.
Right,
And I really
that's how
like
I
a lot.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you hate like 25% of the general population.
50%
Right.
of the general
Well,
population.
but that's the thing is that cops are humans too. So they're going to have bad apples and they're going to have good apples.
Yeah. It's just tough when you get pulled over by a guy where, like, you know, when you can look into someone's eyes, it's like looking into the eye of a cow or something like that. Like, you go, like,
Yeah.
I'm more intelligent than you. I could probably cave your forehead in with my brain power. But you're giving me, like, the hi-hat and the, you know, and using all those words. Like, do you guys get taught to use those words?
Do you
like,
what?
those stupid... There's all those phrases like
buzzwords for cops.
particular individual.
Oh, yeah.
And just all those stupid,
cop diction,
I
approach. The integrity of the domicile was breached by said suspect.
Yeah. It's just it's so annoying that they don't talk to you like an equal or whatever.
Yeah.
I know. I've always wanted to ask this. How are you supposed to respond when they say, or when they ask, do you know how fast you were going? What are you supposed to say?
I think you should say, yes, I do know how fast I was going.
87.
I'm a master of getting out of tickets, and my strategy has always been cop to everything right away.
Yes.
Just be like,
yes,
I was speeding, man. I'm sorry. It was stupid.
Yeah.
And I get out all the time. But I have deep blue eyes. So.
Yeah.
You do, and beautiful
You're
lashes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And you make the puppets speak for you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my
Have you guys seen the newest promo?
No, but we're going to.
Wait, for the turkeys?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's already got like 2,000 views.
No
Yep,
way!
blowing up.
Oh my God, I'm totally going to
It's-
post it on
We're
our
so
page.
psyched about this. Yeah. We've been playing with our dolls all morning.
Yeah, literally.
Wait, the puppets you were making?
Yeah.
Oh my God, puppets.
Yeah, the show's going to have, like, we're going big into our
When-
dolls.
when
we
it-
added an animator to
So
the
it's a
group.
residency. When is it?
So it's this weekend. One show each night, Friday, Saturday, 9 p.m. And you can go to bravenewworkshop.com to get tickets. And you can call the box office. I don't know the number.
Yeah.
But it's a Google
Brave
search
New
away.
Workshop.
Yeah, it totally is.
How many comps did you bring us today?
I think we could have 3 of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
OMG. Friday
No,
night.
and actually, we could do a ticket giveaway if your listeners want to tweet at something or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, whoever
So we
is
give out
the
a pair.
whoever's the first person to tweet at us. I say, should we say first or third?
Yeah.
Let's say
Hashtag
first.
turkeys. Hashtag turkeys.
Hashtag turkeys. Tweet at us and tell us how bad you want the turkeys tickets and how many we got. 2.
2, yeah.
2 tickets to go see the
If you have
turkeys.
good response, we'll do more. What the hell?
Yeah, why not?
We don't.
So tweet at City's Hit Show.
I don't know if you heard, Gabe, but we get weird calls when people call the show, like this person. Listen to this.
The one thing I miss about Minnesota is coleslaw.
What? That's better than anything I could write.
Oh, for sure.
The one thing I like, coleslaw.
These are the kind of calls we get here at the Hit Show. So good luck with the ticket giveaway.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is there coleslaw with the tickets?
We'll give him a cup. If that guy shows up, we will give him a cup of coleslaw.
Yeah.
And we will interview him at the show. We really will. That I promise. if
Oh
that
my
guy can
gosh.
Courtney, did you have anything today before we...
I feel like I don't have anything that is as good as this show, but I had a couple of like nerdy animal things that I wanted to talk about.
Nerdy animal.
Of
But-
course you did.
I'm just going to tell you about one
Okay.
because
Yes.
I read about it and I'm just like, this is what I want to be like when I'm 75 years old. A 75-year-old woman, Cass Overton from Henrico, Virginia, was attacked by a rabid raccoon while walking through her local botanical garden.
I hear they can be...
Rabid animals.
Yeah.
She strangled it to death.
Oh.
She like
It's the most intimate way to kill him.
Yeah. Just
She,
like
like-
Saving Private Ryan. I picture in the scene.
tackled it.
Are we sure the raccoon had rabies? Maybe it wanted suicide by grandma.
Oh, suicide by
Never know.
Gilf.
Do you think she was holding her
Gilf.
finger over her mouth doing the thing
Yeah,
as she was
don't
having
speak.
it fade out?
Don't
Yeah.
speak. With her bare hands. She was walking down the remote paths of Louis Ginter Botanical Garden. The raccoon rushed out of the bamboo and attacked her leg. I tried to shake it off and realized how violent it was.
She has bamboo in her house?
And no, this is in the botanical garden.
Oh, okay.
As I moved backward away from it, I grabbed its neck and knew that I couldn't get away from it. If I ran, it would be faster than I would and would just tear me to pieces. So I threw it to the ground and strangled it with both hands.
I can see how she knew she had to kill it because she probably only outweighed it by 140 pounds. What do you mean I knew I had to kill
Have
it?
you ever encountered an animal on rabies? Me neither. But I've. Oh
Been
my
sitting
god.
on that. That's good.
Anyway, I think that
Rabid
is
raccoon.
pretty badass.
She
I'm
killed it
impressed.
and then she broke into song.
Yep. Cry sometimes when lying in bed. I just want to. I wish they had this in
She
karaoke.
danced over the carcass of the dead.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
A little peculiar.
The raccoon's I'm not quite dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Stop it, grab a ciggy.
Oh.
Anywho, all right.
So yeah, so that's my bit.
All right, we've done a lot of cop stuff, but Chuck, did you have anything to add to our legal?
This can be our
Yes.
cop show.
our
Yeah, I do.
cop conversation.
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
I just want to talk about a current issue.
All right.
And I'm just so impressed with the U.S. Secret Service and their
Oh, boy.
efforts to buckle things down and really improve things after
Now what?
Well, two senior Secret Service agents, one of whom was a top member of President Obama's protective detail, reportedly drove a government car into White House security barricades after drinking at a late-night party last week.
Hey-o.
Yeah, that should do a lot to re-earn the public's trust, I would think. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Well, now, we all remember, of course, all the incidents with the Secret Service partying down on protective details down in South
Didn't they
America.
try and hire a hooker or
Yep,
something down
yep.
there?
They didn't just try. They did. They did. Yeah, and then one of the agents, I believe, left the gun in the hooker's room. Yes. And then, of course, we had the people storming the White House with knives,
Yeah.
the drone landing. And now, that drone landed on the White House yard. And it was, I believe that was an NSA guy playing with a drone.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah, as happens. So this latest, a senior manager with the U.S. Secret Service crashed his government car into a barricade outside the White House.
So he's also on our team, but he accidentally crashed into the barricade.
Yeah, he was drinking a little bit, and he was out. He's probably, sightseeing. Hey, shoot his gun off as he was driving in front of the White House.
Not my president.
So yeah, I'm
Wow.
just really impressed with how they're turning things around. I think.
Didn't they say there was a bit of the Secret Service hate Obama?
Yeah,
Screw
they
him.
get in
Come on
trouble.
in.
Yeah.
Go ahead, shoot him. I don't
Yeah.
care.
There was a faction of them who got in trouble for being critical
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
president. His main detail.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'd.
Because the other
wouldn't-
guys get to be with Clinton while he screws
Yeah.
Energizer or whatever that chick's nickname is.
Energizer.
I've never screwed a chick with a nickname at all, let alone Energizer, except Longface. I was with one girl that my friends called Longface and another girl that they called Shaggy. Which from Scooby Doo. That was not my finest.
Not Courtney's leg.
Was she really?
She looked a lot like Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yeah, wow.
My friends aren't that creative. It was just pretty much direct.
Green
Was
shirt,
she wearing
brown
the green
pants.
T-shirt exactly?
She said zoinks as soon as I got her off.
Like, Gabe, you're really... Yeah.
It's my one impression I do.
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
It doesn't say any words. I just match the tone.
So, Gabe, aside from the Brave New Workshop residency, what else do you have coming up?
Oh, really? Nothing.
Oh, okay,
No,
excellent.
no.
So that's what
That's not enough. That's enough.
No, that is all I'm promoting. We've are
Okay,
laying out
excellent.
so much money for our stupid gags.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only thing I want people. I've tried to hire a lesbian biker gang for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's
Do you
true.
have if that's an indication of where everything
So
else is.
Gabe, you owe me an apology.
How so?
You punched me in the lip the other night.
God, really?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're here at work today.
I know.
If I would have punched you in the lip,
It was
wouldn't be
it was
here,
kind of
son.
a Gabe. It was a Gabe-like punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like my apology.
I'm sorry that I punched you in your big pillow lips.
There. I feel better now.
I've been
were hard to
admiring them for a long time. Yep.
Well, we're got to wrap things up. We're going to end, of course, with a little joy to the world. Keyboardist for Three Dog Night died yesterday.
He did?
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
I know.
Heartfelt.
Wait, that doesn't affect me at all.
Suicide by cancer.
Oh, man.
Pussy.
Who do we have on the show tomorrow? Probably
don't
no
know.
one
Tina
after
Ness.
this. Oh, yeah,
Author
right.
Tina Ness.
Oh, yes.
We got to play the Jeff DeBay thing for her,
yeah.
at least a part of it.
Yeah. We have a local woman who's writing her own version of 50 Shades of Grey, erotica, adult female erotica.
As-
Yes?
That's what I do. I have an erotic novelist sketch.
Oh, my gosh,
Do
it's
you?
true. Yes, he does.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And we're doing
I'll
a bunch
post
of it
it.
this weekend.
Yeah.
I'll
All
post
right.
it.
We'll have to can we play that tomorrow, too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we can. All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm going to send the world's greatest erotic.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll have that tomorrow as well. All right. Are we done here? Are we done?
Are so done here.
It's a podcast. We can be done if we want.
Yeah.
Is there more beer
Or
downstairs?
stay.
There's so much beer
Hey,
downstairs.
guess what we're doing today after the show?
It's Friday somewhere.
Guess what we're doing today after the show?
We're working in the street, actually.
Yeah, we're going to go hit
Oh,
the streets
yeah.
and we're going to do some man-on-man interviews with Courtney, woman-on-man, woman.
I can be a man.
Yeah.
Well, based on your hairy legs.
Wink.
No pegging, please. All right, here we go. Let's go outside and have fun, all right?